I'm definitely aware that I have some like addiction to training Pokemon. It's just a lot of fun. In the Generation 3 games, I've already trained almost a whole box full of like IV bred and EV trained Pokemon. However, there's still a whole bunch more that is on the list. And the list somehow keeps growing. I'm not really sure how, but it just is. So last night I actually decided to sit down and kind of go through this list of Pokemon that I have and prioritize them and kind of build them out more on paper before we actually go into the whole breeding and training process. Because before this I just had an Excel sheet which is names of Pokemon, and then just it was anarchy. There's just moves everywhere and potential items and like theory behind why I want to use this Pokemon. So I kind of wanted to make it a little bit more digestible and actually rank Pokemon to like what am I going to do next, because if we don't do that, then I don't know, it just becomes madness, you know. But in this video I want to go through that list, kind of chat about the Pokemon and maybe my intentions on when I might be training them. And again, Pokemon might come up in the near future where I'm like, alright, we're definitely training that. But at least I have something to kind of guide myself and keep my brain semi-focused. Because there's so many Pokemon I want to use and build because they're just so cool. And I guess the problem too is I need to spend more time in the frontier, but I just get like excited about playing and training new Pokemon. So I don't know, it's like a battle. It's like we need to use the Pokemon because that's the whole purpose of building them, or at least kind of the purpose in a sense of why I build certain Pokemon. But then I build them and I'm kind of satisfied. I'm like, oh, it's ready. But actually I need to go that step further and kind of play the frontier a little bit more, because I definitely train and breed. I spend a lot more time training and breeding Pokemon than I do actually in the frontier. But you know, it's about having fun, and I think I enjoy. Right now I'm enjoying this a lot more. We're going to pretty much go through all the Gen 3 Pokemon that are on my list. There are some Pokemon in the Gen 4 games that I did start last night. I'm like, alright, what are some Pokemon that we want to train in that game too? And then I was like, we need to chill. Like, we should not even be thinking about this, because I still need to build for the Gen 4 games my shiny team. And I still need 2 of those Pokemon. So before we do anything else training in that game, in the Gen 4 games, we need to get those 2 shinies and actually play the frontier, or at least the battle tower. So for the Gen 3 games, all we're going to focus on in this video. I did make a video, I think maybe 4 months ago, very similar to this, on Pokemon that I wanted to train. And since then the list has definitely grown. It's also shrunk in certain parts, you know, as I train more Pokemon. But this is definitely, I think, a more refined list. But anyway, let's actually get into the list. Enough rambling. So I kind of have this table here. We got the priority 1 being high, as in like, alright, I want to train this right now. And Pokemon, we got some moves I'm thinking about using, some natures for the breeding process, maybe items that I want to use for the frontier. All the IVs and EVs, I think we can kind of get that maybe a little bit. I could actually fill like column like that in the future, near future, but I just didn't do it last night. And I have some just notes on the Pokemon. So first one, we got Dusclops. Now I already do have a Dusclops. It's actually like a really good one. 3 perfect IVs, HP, defense, and special defense with a good nature. But I want another one. And I really like the Dusclops build that we currently have. Like, it's so good. But I want to try like a curse build on Dusclops. So curse is such a cool move because it's 100% accuracy. It reduces your health in half, which is bad, but then it inflicts at each turn 1/4 of the damage to your opponent. And that's awesome because in 4 turns essentially that Pokemon's dead. And Dusclops can learn things like Protect, Torment, even like Confuse Ray. You got the ability Pressure. It's so tanky. Like, there's just so many things you can do on Dusclops to kind of abuse this curse thing. And I have watched some other videos too, other people doing this, and it looks like a lot of fun. Kind of just looks like what Dusclops was meant to like be. But I don't want to touch the current Dusclops that I have because I think it's almost like perfect. What a cool Pokemon. And maybe I can actually use that hopefully it's a male. So if I use that for the breeding, I can hopefully transfer over the rest that I have on that Pokemon. But anyway though, one thing it's important, I do want it shiny. Oh, shiny Dusclops is so cool. It's red. Love the color red. So in Ruby, you can actually have 100% encounter rate at Mount 100% encounter rate at Mount Higher. However, the thing is, I'm debating, do we do it in Ruby for the increased odds, or do we do it in Emerald with a decreased odd, but we can have the synchronize ability, so hopefully we might have an increased chance of getting a nature that we want. And probably the right answer is to use the synchronize to probably get that 50% chance, but shiny hunting takes a long time, and if you could get a lot faster, then let's see something. Hold on. So yeah, Dusclops 100% in Ruby. In Emerald, it is a 10% chance. Ooh, maybe, hold on. Yeah, okay, in Emerald, it's only a 10% chance. I mean, a 13% chance at like the tippity top of Mount Pyre. Yeah, that's too low for me. And you can't, it doesn't look like you could use any like repel tricks to it. So yeah, we'll probably just do it in Ruby and get the decreased odds. But yeah, man, I want a spicy Dusclops shiny because it's such a cool shiny, and I just wanted to have really cool moves. So, yeah, the one that we have right now, it's so good, but I want to try kind of take something similar to that, use like the beef of Dusclops and trying to transition it to something that where we can abuse the move curse and see how cool it is. The next Pokemon we got is Magneton. I'm actually building this right now. So on one of the podcasts we talked about, or someone mentioned that there's a Magneton in the frontier. It's got Thunder, Rain Dance, Metal Sound, and Thunder Wave, and it absolutely is. That's an awesome build. So Magneton's base special attack is already off the Richter scale, and then you hit if you do Rain Dance with Thunder, it can do so much damage with that stab Thunder with that special attack, that high base special attack. Give it like a modest nature. So in 100% chance, that sounds so fun. And why this is even cooler is because is Metal Sound actually like a yoked move. So it can lower your opponent's special defense by 2 stages, and it's a steel move. That is awesome. So if there is some beefy, I don't know, like Blissey or some other special attacking wall, you just hit it with the Metal Sound, your Rain Dance, and you hit him with Thunder, you're gonna do like 1,000,000 damage. And the Thunder Wave is just another benefit. I've been like trying to find a cool Pokemon. I mean, there's so many good Pokemon that learn Thunder Wave, but I've been trying to find a Pokemon to put on a team that I can have a slot for Thunder Wave, and this seems like the very fitting choice, obviously because it's Magneton and it's an electric type. So I think it'd be really good to have this type of utility move on Magneton. Obviously you're going to be kind of reliant on the Thunder, but you can do other things, and obviously you can't hit ground. But a huge problem with a lot of teams I build is we're weak to water types. You put this dude out and you hit it real hard with Thunder move and you win the game. So what's cool about this is the Battlefront here has it trained in HP and special defense, and this actually makes sense the more I'm thinking about it. Is you're probably going to be versing some rain or water types. Rain Dance might already be up on certain situations, but water moves are do increase damage in the rain. So you definitely want to make sure that you're surviving these water attacks when you kind of know they're coming. And the way Magneton is going to be positioned on probably some of my teams, we need it to survive water moves. So training it in HP and special defense is probably going to be quite critical. So Magneton is very weak 4 times to ground, but it doesn't matter because we're not going to be sending this Pokemon out in those situations. Like it just doesn't do anything anyway. And the other 2 weaknesses are fire and fighting. So fire is going to be special in this game, and fighting is physical. So we're kind of taking the chance that we're going to hopefully survive fighting moves, but we're really more worried about water. Man, this dude's got so many resistances too. Really, the only thing it's not resistant to is fire, water, fighting, and ground. Ground's 4 times and fighting's 2 times. But yeah, we're kind of just using Magneton, knowing that it's probably going to be put in situations where water moves will do a lot of damage. So we're playing around that by making it really beefy in special defense. Anyway, I started working on that. Probably going to just go for like 1 or 2 IVs. In a good nature. I don't really need 3. And yeah, I want to build a lot of Pokemon, but I don't want to get too in the weeds for all these IVs. It just takes a lot of time. Next up, I want a shiny Aggron. Yeah, that Pokemon's so cool. It's got red eyes. So I've already started hunting this in Emerald. I do want to capture it in a luxury ball. What am I at right now? I am tracking all the resets. I'm at 800 encounters exactly. I started the hunt on September 22nd. I do get some pretty cool nicknames too. Yeah, I had a choice. I don't want to get too in the weeds, but I'm using the magnet pull ability and a repel trick to have an increased odds of encountering Aggron in Granite Cave in Emerald. So I'm really hoping we get like an admin or impish nature, but we're gonna get what we get, so it's whatever. But obviously we're gonna see like what nature and things that we get, but I'm thinking Rock Slide, maybe even Thunder Wave would definitely be moves on it. Next up we got Skarmory. So Skarmory I just want to build in general because it's actually a really cool Pokemon. It's also really good for the frontier. It can learn a lot of great moves for kind of stalling and kind of gaining information. We also discussed Skarmory on a couple podcasts as well, but I really want to build a Skarmory with like spikes, whirlwind, maybe protect, maybe toxic, kind of like using spike sounds so cool, but kind of just use this Pokemon in its bulk to, in the earlier parts of the game, gain information about the match. So probably going to be using this in the battle tower. In a near future video, Skarmory and this next Pokemon, Mr. Mime, and a special attacking Aggron will be on a team. So I'm going to be using this Skarmory, we'll get to it in a second. I'm going to be using the Skarmory in the battle tower to gain information on the team. Then we're going to go into Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime has got moves like Baton Pass. First of all, I've never even thought about Mr. Mime in my life. It's just a weird Pokemon. But anyway, it's got Baton Pass, Calm Mind, and then we get things like Substitute, and then the other move could be like a Flex Spot. But essentially what we're going to do is use Mr. Mime, make it really tanky. It's actually a quite tanky and kind of fast Pokemon as well. But set up some Calm Minds, maybe Substitute, Baton Pass into the special attack in Aggron. Now Aggron innately has super high defense, one of the highest in the game, pretty high attack as well. And now with the Calm Mind boosts, it's going to have very high special defense and special attack. So not only is it going to hit hard, it can survive a surf. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if it's going to work, but it'll be fun for a little bit. Aggron is kind of still slow, but you know, at least we'll be able to take 1 or 2 hits, and we're going to hit really hard with that boosted special attack. So kind of thinking Mr. Mime going to have like timid or calm nature, depending if we want to go a little bit more tanky or we want to try and outspeed certain Pokemon, so we can set up a Calm Mind more quickly or Substitute more quickly. Anyway though, Skarmory, Mr. Mime, I have started working on this Skarmory, but I'm kind of bouncing between the Magneton and Skarmory right now. Then we'll get to Mr. Mime eventually, but this video might not be for another couple months, but I think it'd be cool. Ideally, even if we get a modest nature Aggron, I will maybe consider making that Aggron special attacking, but I think realistically we should not do that. We should abuse the fact that Aggron actually has high attack. Anyway though, next up we got Metagross, so I'm going to shiny hunt this in Sapphire. Again, we do have a Metagross, but I want to shiny hunt this and rename it. I got a cool nickname, I'm not going to surprise or spoil that. I'm not going to talk about any moves or anything, we'll worry about it when we get there. But yeah, Metagross, one of my favorite Pokemon, especially the shiny, one of my favorites. So we'll see what we get. I'm going to be shiny hunting Rayquaza again, going to try and get it in the luxury ball. This isn't really for the battle frontier, so I don't want to talk about it too much, but it's just on the radar of Pokemon that I need to get. Steelix, I am trying to shiny hunt this in Fire Red. I didn't really get too far though. I think I got like a couple hundred encounters. You can do a repel trick where you only encounter level 54 Pokemon, because that's like, I think the only level Onix appears at in the Savalt Canyon on the 7th island. So I've been doing that. Pretty cool. But yeah, I want to get that on luxury ball too. Obviously I don't have 100 hands in 1,000 hours, so I kind of just, depending on how I'm feeling on a certain day, I'm gonna be like, let's just shiny hunt that today, let's get some encounters, you know. Like I can't do all this at once, but I just chip away at some of this stuff, and it's obviously been on my radar for a while. Next up, Claydol. So Claydol is so cool, and it was fun to kind of train them, but use them for the contests in the, I guess just use them in the contest, because I had to build I think 5 different ones, so we had to feed them all the puffins. That was fun. But yeah, Claydol was just a really cool Pokemon, and Steven uses it. Steven's a cool dude. But yeah, I'm thinking there's 2 ways we could go about this. Claydol is super tanky, so you can build it even more tanky and kind of use moves like, let's say, Cosmic Power and Rest to get yourself even tankier, and then use moves like Psychic or Earthquake, which are both stab, and kind of chip away your opponent, because you're just like going to be unkillable, you know. And the base attack and special attack are the same, so there isn't really a benefit of doing one or the other. If we do like a build kind of like that, where we want to go with split attacker, I think a relaxed or sassy nature would be good. So that decreases, I think, speed and increases some defense. So probably would be optimal there. Or we can just go like a full physical attacker. Run things like Earthquake, Explosion, Ancient Power, Shadow Ball. Really cool moveset. But also, Claydol can learn a lot of special attacking moves. You got Psychic. I think it can also learn Ice Beam. I think I'm leaning a little bit away from that, but it's an option. It's got a lot of different moves it can learn, so got to spend more time on it. But if right now, if I had to pick a moveset right now, I think I want to go Rest, Cosmic Power, Shadow Ball, Earthquake. That just seems spicy. And maybe, I feel like it's weird. If you build that type of like Pokemon, do you train it in a defensive stuff, or you just go attack moves like physical and special attack and then just bank on the Cosmic Power, making your Pokemon bulkier? It's probably best to go like HP and then a split between the attacks. I don't know. It's such a cool Pokemon. It's been on my radar for so long. That Pokemon could also work out well on the Sandstorm team too, kind of giving it some versatility. That is another reason to probably maybe experiment with the special attacking side. All right, we got Weezing. I know, Weezing. I never thought that'd be on my list, but it's so tanky. It's got that stab, Sludge Bomb. It does so much damage. It learns all these weird moves that kind of just work. So got things like Explosion, Sludge Bomb, Destiny Bond, Shadow Ball, Smoke Screen. Then you got things like Haze. There's a lot of different things Weezing can learn. Will-O-Wisp, definitely Sludge Bomb and Explosion, or Destiny Bond, and then just two other supporting moves. It's just such a weird Pokemon. The Shiny's pretty cool too, but yeah, I would want to build one probably for physical attack, maybe like train it in special defense too, because special defense is a little low and so it's only weak to Psychic and I think ground, but it doesn't matter obviously because it's got the ability Levitate. It's only weak to Psychic. It doesn't have like a lot of resistances, but yeah, so you just train in special defense, and it's got 120 base defense. What a weird Pokemon. I just don't understand. It's kind of cool. So we got a Charizard too. I don't really want to train another Charizard, so if I do decide to do this, I'm probably just gonna modify the shiny Charizard that I have right now. Thinking of moves like a Sunny Day team, so this will be part of it, where you go Sunny Day, maybe substitute Flamethrower, Dragon Claw, maybe run like one of the berries. I don't remember how I trained this. Yeah, we trained the shiny Charizard in special attack and speed. Man, it has 22 special attack for IV, so it's kind of good. Right now, I have the moves, I think, like Blast Burn, Fire Blast, Flamethrower, like Fly. So, and I would like to use, maybe not those moves now I'm thinking about it, because I think I did modify it a little bit, because we did do a run through the Battle Frontier. But I would like to eventually build a Sunny Day team, and Charizard will be on the team, obviously, because it's one of the cool shinies. Such a cool Pokemon. But man, I'm thinking, yeah, it's like Charizard, Vileplume, and there's probably another Pokemon that benefits from the sun. But yeah, anyway, next up we got Seviper. Oh man, this Pokemon is so cool. First of all, you know I love snakes, and Seviper is a cool snake. Definitely Seviper is not the best Pokemon for the Frontier, but check out these moves it can learn. Poison Fang, I spelled poison way wrong. Poison Fang, Sludge Bomb, Stab, Sludge Bomb, and Poison Fang. Haze, Poison Tail, Flamethrower, Crunch, Glare. So it can learn a whole different suite of moves. Obviously we'd probably only run like one poison move, but like the fact that it can learn all these different ones gives you so much versatility, and it can learn Earthquake, Iron Tail for no reason. Man, there's so many moves on this Pokemon it can learn. I don't think the stats aren't like the best. It has definitely very high attack and special attack, so you can go a mix of both. You'll be kind of cool actually. If you go like a Seviper and then just max out the both physical and special attack, and then you use like Earthquake, you just use all the cool moves that anything can learn, and then you just get the Quick Claw on it. Hopefully it one-shots all the Pokemon. Probably not good, but it kind of sounds kind of spicy. Flamethrower for Skarmory, Poison Fang or Sludge Bomb just because it's cool. Like the shiny's cool, don't get me wrong, but I love the original a lot more. And it's got shed skin. Dude's almost 9 feet long. Yeah, it has 100 base special and physical attack, and the rest of the stats are pretty mediocre, or the rest of the base stats are pretty mediocre. There's probably something real spicy there. There's something there. I can feel it. Next up, we got Breloom. So I've discovered this build when I first was doing the Battle Factory. The Breloom had Substitute, Spore, Focus Punch, and a Salac Berry. Yeah. So essentially, actually indoor, you need that too. It's kind of a pretty specific build. Spore is 100% chance. You always put the Pokemon to sleep, and then you just hit it with the Focus Punch. Hit it real hard. It's stab Focus Punch. It's pretty self-explanatory. It does like 150,000 damage, and it's like guaranteed. When it works every time. There's no question. If something outspeeds Breloom or one-shots it, or you know, get aerial ace, yeah, you're done for, or Pokemon can't get put to sleep. But if you do Spore, Focus Punch, or even Spore, Substitute, Focus Punch, Endure, whatever, the Pokemon's absolutely crazy. Man, I get excited just thinking about it. I gotta build that. That's been on the radar since like we started doing the Battle Frontier, which was like, I don't know, a long time ago. Next up, we got two Vileplumes. I definitely want two because they're different. One of them, I want to be a slow, kind of tanky plant, you know. So I want to run things like, well, obviously build it defensive, but I want to run things like maybe Ingrain, Double Team, maybe Synthesis, Substitute, and then you got Toxic on there. It's always a struggle because like Toxic is a good move, but it doesn't work all the time. So you kind of want something else on the Pokemon. That's why I wish Vileplume would have Leech Seed, but it doesn't. So thinking of using like two defensive moves to kind of make it heal. Maybe Ingrain combined with Leftovers. Or even Double Team's kind of cool too. If you go like Double Team, then I think it's not like that tanky. And then yeah, you got moves like Aerial Ace, which are super effective. So I'm always kind of a little wary putting Double Team on grass type Pokemon just because the Aerial Ace is so strong. But essentially make Vileplume pretty tanky, make it have a bunch of heal moves, and stall the game out using like Toxic, Protect, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I don't know, I just like the idea of that. The other Vileplume I want to build is a big damage one. Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, Stab. Does so much damage and train this thing in, yeah, I guess physical or special attack, or it could be both. So there's the one Vileplume in the Battle Frontier that I was using in the Battle Factory had max special attack and max physical attack, and it had Sludge Bomb and Giga Drain. Actually, I can pull it up. Let me pull it up. This Pokemon was absolutely crazy when I used it in the factory. So it's got Sludge Bomb. No, where is it? So it's a quirky nature. I don't think it does anything. Leftovers, Attract, Stun Spore, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, and it maxes the both attack stats. So essentially it's just get in there and hit him with your big move. I don't know if I'd run Stun Spore though. The Attract seems kind of good, but I think that Pokemon, so some things we got to think about. The two things that I want to focus on are the dome and the battle tower. So when I'm building these Pokemon, that's kind of what I'm going for. And some Pokemon work better, and some builds work better for the battle tower, and some work better for the dome. Like a build like this, I think would work great in the dome. Like you kind of know going in, oh, is Vileplume going to be good in this situation or not? That'd be kind of cool, yeah. Even like a double battle. So yeah, Vileplume, I think a double battle would be even cooler too. Anyway, there's a lot of things we got to consider. In my mind, I'm ultimately training a lot of these Pokemon for the Battle Dome, because that's ultimately where I want to spend a lot more of my time, but we still need to get through the other facilities. Well, so we don't want to limit the Pokemon either. Next up, all right, we got three of pretty much the same Pokemon. Tropius, Venusaur, Sceptile. They all learn Leech Seed. They all learn kind of similar moves. You know, Sceptile's got Leaf Blade, but I want to build each of these Pokemon like a Leech Seedy, like tanky build. I love the idea that, I don't know why, you just slowly sip away your opponent's like HP while you gain your own, and you just kind of stall the game out in like a fun way. I really like this type of build, especially Venusaur. The idea of Sludge Bomb being Stab, and then you hit it with the Leech Seed, but also Leaf Blade and Sceptile. You can't go wrong with that. Anyway, there's three Pokemon I kind of want to build all very similar, kind of Leech Seedy, Stally. Even like I think I got all the way down on the list. We got a Ludicolo. Yeah, we'll get there. We got Cradily. Cradily, just overall really cool Pokemon as well. But yeah, we can put some disgusting moves on it. Cradily is just disgusting. I don't know what is up with that Pokemon. I just find it always unkillable. So I kind of want to build one, make it unkillable as well. But we can give it moves like Ingrain, make it heal, get Toxic, Giga Drain. You can make it learn Rock Slide as an egg move, Confuse Ray, and Recover. I think Recover is also an egg move too. You can just make it so... It can learn actually a lot of different moves more than that too. And I'm pretty sure it can learn like some... I don't remember where... I don't see it actually. Oh, Amnesia. So you can make it even to... Oh, wait a minute. So Amnesia could actually be really good for a lot of the builds that I have or teams, because usually I'm weak against special defense. And you send out this dude, and you can just be for special defense, and you can heal a million times, and you can take out that Pokemon pretty easily. Oh, that sounds like so exciting. I wonder if that's a good, like, Suicune Destroyer. Like an Ingraining, Amnesia, Giga Draining Cradily. Could work on the Sandstorm team too, because it is rock. But anyway, grass rock stab move with the Giga Drain and Rock Slide. Pretty cool. Cradily is awesome. Next up we got Scizor. I haven't thought too much about this, but it can learn, first of all, Scizor is awesome. What a cool Pokemon. It's a metallic bug. Anyway, it can learn things like Silver Wind, Swords Dance, and Agility. I think really all you need is Swords Dance and Silver Wind, and you kind of just win the game. But yeah, I like the idea of using a Pokemon like this, especially with that Swords Dance. And it's already kind of tanky in the defensive space because it's a Steel type and it's got a lot of resistances. It's only weak to Fire, which is 4 times, but we can play around that a little bit, you know. I got Sharpedo on the list. It's a cool shark. It's pretty self-explanatory. But it can learn a whole bunch of different moves, wide variety. That is pretty exciting. And it gets Stab, Crunch, and Surf. But then you can put Ice Beam and Earthquake on it, and it's very weak. Like, I think it has like 40 base special defense and defense, but its physical and special attack are pretty high. Yeah, oh my gosh, its base attack is 120, special attack is 95, even speed's 95. Sure, you're going to be hitting a lot harder with the Earthquake, but again, don't discount the fact you got 95 special attack with Crunch and Surf Stab. So really cool. I think Sharpedo is even better, yeah, in Gen 4, because Crunch and Waterfall, and even like Avalanche if it learns that, but those moves are physical. I got Butterfree on the list too, so I was shiny hunting this actually, trying to get a cool egg, and it's just such a beautiful shiny. The problem is it's just not that good probably for the frontier, but it can learn, I mean, it can learn a lot of things like sleep powder, and with the compound eyes that accuracy gets increased quite high. But I think it'd be really cool as like a Mothra, so it would kind of act as like a supporting Pokemon to like some of my really cool ones, like Aggron or maybe Metagross, kind of just help set up. So there's a thought there. I probably got like 100 eggs into there, and I kind of just moved on. I moved it way down the list because it's a beautiful shiny, but I think I really want to find Caterpie in the wild. Like, I don't think going through all the effort of trying to get either a shiny one or, yeah, a shiny one and an egg, I just think it's way too much. But I would love to see a Caterpie in the wild. It's on my bucket list. I have here a Lapras build. So we do have a Spit Lapras that has Psychic, Surf, Psychic, Ice Beam, Toxic, Spit. And it's really good. But I would love to also build like a Parasong kind of build where you focus on the bulk the Lapras brings, and I don't know, kind of just do something with that. I think it'd be kind of cool. Lapras is just such a good Pokemon for the frontier, just such good stats. So I think there's more to explore here with Lapras. Definitely far down the list, as I think there are a lot of things that I want to do before that, but it's here. Got Demon Gengar. I heard this a while ago from some people, but essentially Gengar can learn a lot of different like unique cool moves. It can learn again a lot of really good special attacking moves, which is typically what Gengar I think is used for, at least the one that I built. So the one that I have, I think I have 2 right now actually, but they got like Thunderbolt, Ki Drain, Fire Punch, and like Ice Punch. I think you can learn Thunder Punch too, but the special attack and speed is off the scales. Even though Gengar's special attack is off the scales and its defenses are quite low, it's cool to run like moves where a more tanky Pokemon might run them because of Gengar's speed. You can still build Gengar kind of tanky, but because it has such high speed, you get that priority. So things like Hypnosis, Attract, even Parasong, Destiny Bond, I think you can learn Explosion too. You can do a whole bunch of different weird things on Gengar and make it just this really interesting Pokemon. Yeah, I want to get to that eventually, probably not anytime soon though. I got Rhydon on the list because Rhydon's one of my favorite Pokemon. And it's gonna get hit with Surf, it's gonna get hit with an Ice Beam and just die, so it's very hard Pokemon to kind of justify training. But if we did, I think we gotta make it hit hard and run that Quick Claw and hopefully get a little lucky. I got Blastoise on here too because the dude's got cannons. It's kind of hard to not want to train that Pokemon. But it can also learn a lot of different good moves too. Surf, Ice Beam, Earthquake. Pretty sure there's a lot of other moves as well. I think Mega Kick or something. So I got on the list something I want to train in the future. Blaziken, I don't have any ideas for this right now, but you know, I was looking at Blaziken one day and it was looking real crispy, and I'm just like, we got to put one on the team and pretend like we're like in the Hoenn region battle frontiers. Yeah, when I think of Blaziken, I just think, obviously it's in the Hoenn region, but I'm talking like when I think about Blaziken, I think about the show, when I think about like it standing there in like some tournament, and it just makes me want to have one and, you know, live that life. I don't know how to explain it. It makes sense up here. We got Tentacruel. Tentacruel is weird. So check out these moves: Surf, Giga Drain, Icy Wind, Ice Beam, Confuse Ray, Sludge Bomb, Sword Dance. There's some fun stuff we could do with Tentacruel, and I want to try it out. And it also has like 120 base special defense, which is very high, and it's weak to, it's obviously super effective against electric. I think even grass too, but it's psychic or so. It just doesn't have any weaknesses though, because I think it's all special attacking. It is very defensive, and I think I learned like barrier too. So just a whole bunch of weird random moves that Pokemon can learn. It needs to be explored. And every time I face Tentacruel in the Battle Frontier, I know it's probably going to give me some trouble. So whenever I see it, it's always a Pokemon that I'm just like, and if a Pokemon does that enough, I think you got to train one. You got to try it out for yourself, you know? It's basically just Squidward, and it's got 100 base speed. Why? I mean, I guess it's actually a squid. That kind of makes sense. It's probably fast. The abilities are Clear Body. Your opponents can't lower your stats, which is essentially like what Metagross has, which is actually insane. And then a Liquid Ooze, if your opponent tries to absorb some HP from you, that ain't happening. So Leech Seed and Ludicolo, both of those abilities are actually really good. The Clear Body is probably like the best though. That is just so good in the Frontier. Next up on the list, we got Jolteon. So Jolteon is just an electric type, one of the fastest in the game. But electric stab fast boy can take out things like Suicune and other water types, Milotic, that are really annoying. And I wanted to train one because, again, one of my big problems is I see a water type and I just lose, because a lot of my favorite Pokemon, they just lose against these bulky water types. Jolteon though, you throw that dude on the team and it makes things a little bit more easy. But it can learn things. It can also act as like a baton swap, a baton pass person Pokemon. So got moves like Baton Pass, Agility, Thunder Wave, Roar, Sand Attack, Thunderbolt. So essentially we can make our opponent, you know, miss a lot. We can set up a whole bunch of agilities. We can even throw a Thunder Wave on it. Probably not though, because at that point we probably want like a Thunderbolt as an attack or some sort of attacking move, so Jolteon can do damage. But make a Pokemon really fast. Baton Pass the agility to like Aggron, coming in, Earthquake wins the game. Last Pokemon we got on the list is Ludicolo. I know, if you can't beat him, you gotta join him. Ludicolo is one of the most annoying Pokemon I've ever seen in my life. It's that sombrero and the dancing. But anyway, the Ludicolo is actually a really good Pokemon. It's got the Rain Dish ability. You can actually gain more HP in the rain, or it has Swift Swim in the rain. It gets even faster. But I think the Rain Dish ability with Leech Seed and Leftovers, and then Protect, that is like one of the craziest things I've seen, or like heard of. And then you put like Toxic or like Double Team on the Pokemon and you just never die. But ideally, if you're gonna go Rain Dance, Leech Seed, Leftovers, Protect, you probably want like some other like attacking move. Ludicolo can also learn a whole bunch of different special attacking ones, like the punch moves. Just what a Pokemon! It's tanky. I don't even think there's anything wrong with this Pokemon besides the fact that I think Aerial Ace is its biggest enemy. There's probably obviously some other things too that hurt this Pokemon, but for the most part, it is quite powerful. I would like to wield that power. So yeah, we got like 29 Pokemon, something like that on the list. I don't know which ones I'll get to and which ones I won't, but they're all cool. And I'm kind of excited, you know, there's so many Pokemon to build and train, and you gotta use them all on the Frontier too. It's gonna take a while, but we'll slowly chip away at the list and we'll make some videos about it. But yeah, this is kind of at a high level, maybe the future of my Pokemon training. It's definitely a lot, but it's exciting. But anyway, we're gonna wrap this up because if not, I'll just keep rambling. Let me know like 3 to 5 Pokemon you're thinking about training in the near future. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Check out some other videos on the channel and stay tuned for more, because obviously you can see we got a whole bunch of things planned. All right, take care, everybody. Thanks.